Coast to Music, Radio Edit. Meet Silvie.
So let's get into it.
Great.
Okay. How are you? Seriously, like, not just how are you? Like,
Yes.
a deep how are you?
A deep how are you? I've been really good lately. It's like I live in Nashville and the weather's been truly perfect. It's like fall, but I'm from Texas and so I'm not used to having like an actual fall. So that's been really fun. It's been like a good season of life, I feel like. So yeah, doing pretty good.
Has it been an inspiring season of life?
Yes, that is a great question. I'm like, I guess I would say it's been inspiring. I feel like there's been a lot of new things going on. My life has changed a lot in the last year, so it's like I'm about to move into an apartment and I don't know, a lot of exciting things are happening. Putting out new music has been really fun. So yeah, it's been inspiring overall.
Awesome. And so let's start off with Delilah, which is your latest release. And you wrote the song about 4 years ago. How was that process and how did it take 4 years for it to come out?
Well, I honestly wasn't really planning on releasing it. It was kind of one of those songs that I like wrote for myself and then was not really, I don't know. It was just kind of therapeutic for me to write for me and I wasn't really sure if I would ever share it. But yeah, the process of like putting out music for me has been like really up and down. My like former partner was my producer, so that has been like then whenever we split up, that was, a whole thing. Having to find somebody new and all that. So it's been a long process, but Delilah, I don't know, that song I just like have had for so long. It's always meant a lot to me personally. And then I kind of just like happened to work on it with my current producer who's amazing. His name is Michael Guillo. And he like brought it to life in a way that I didn't know it could be brought to life. And then I was like, cool, we like finished it and I'm just going to put that out as the first single. And that's kind of it. I didn't think through it as much as I probably should have, but yeah, it's out now. So
It's nice being able to be spontaneous with a release like that.
yeah, I think I like really overthink releases and I had like a whole plan. I've like planned out an album so many times and like planned out which songs I'm going to release. And every time it's like the timing hasn't been good or something's happened to where it hasn't worked out. So it was kind of funny that this one I'm like, I didn't really plan to put it out, but then it kind of just worked out that way. And I'm glad.
And what's the story behind Delilah?
It's kind of a like dark song. I was thinking about this. I'm like, yeah, it's a pretty, when I think about the song as a whole, to me it feels like very desperate. I wrote it when I was in a relationship that like wasn't super healthy and the person I was with I was like super depressed for a long time and my partner just didn't really know how to deal with it. We were really young and so that song was kind of this like me feeling like I don't know how to do this relationship and I felt really alone, I think, just with someone who didn't understand that like really dark place for me. Which I'm like really grateful that since then I like haven't felt that way in a long time and I'm like take antidepressants, which I love, and go to therapy. And I feel like since then it's like it's cool to look back and see how much I've grown since writing that song. But yeah, that was kind of the inspiration, was just like I don't know, feeling really alone and desperate for that person who I cared about to see me and like understand that pain, and just realizing that he never would. Um, so yeah, that's what it was kind of inspired by.
And now 4 years later, the meaning of it has changed for you, I believe.
Yeah, for sure. It's like I also think my writing has just changed a lot since then, which I'm like honestly really happy that people like it, cuz to me I'm like, wow, I don't connect with it as much anymore, cuz I just feel like the way that I write now is a lot different, but it is cool. It feels like a little time capsule for me, where it's like I don't a part of me that I don't feel anymore necessarily, but I can look at and be like, wow, I've grown and I've changed since that time, and that's cool for me. And it's cool to get to see it like take on a whole new life with people like giving it their own meaning and applying it to their own lives. So,
That's so nice. And so I wanted to know, you're talking about this evolution of your songwriting from your own point of view, because obviously we don't have all your songs to listen to.
right.
But is there like an a forward evolution for you sonically, because you produced it now with a new producer? Is that the sound you're going for moving forward?
Yeah, for sure. I think I've loved working with Michael, um, because yeah, but up until then I had mostly worked with my former partner, which was really cool in its own way, but just also is a totally different experience, because when you're like with somebody, the way you communicate is totally different. And
It's loaded.
yeah, it's very loaded. It's hard to like treat it like a business relationship when it's like I mean, I was like married, so to be like that's just a totally different experience. So it's been really fun to get to work with somebody new who brings like a totally new perspective to my music, and yeah, it feels like it's such a collaboration in a way that I haven't gotten to experience before. So that's been really fun. And then yeah, he's working on there are going to be 2 more singles this year that will be like a little EP kind of situation. And then we'll have another EP in the spring. Or we're working on we're working on it in the fall, and we'll hopefully put it out in the spring. And I'm working on that with him as well. So I think the sound will kind of continue to grow, and I'm excited to see where it goes and keep trying things.